Day number 2 of the 2023 Armed Forces Men's Soccer Championship here at Camp Pendleton on a gorgeous Friday morning. 60 degrees, no wind, hardly a cloud in the sky. As we welcome you inside the broadcast booth. Hi, everybody. I'm Alex Gould. Alongside me is U.S. Air Force Captain Kristen Lynn. Appreciate you all joining us here today. There we are. Hi, guys. Appreciate you all joining us here today, partner. Great to be here with you. And the 2nd Audio-Visual Squadron based at Hill Air Force Base in Layton, Utah. Appreciate you joining us wherever you may be. It was an exciting day 1, Captain Lynn. It was terrific soccer, a lot of pace, a lot of passion, great physicality that saw Army and the Department of Air Force on top after day 1.
Yes, Army and Air Force both have wins, but that doesn't mean much yet. Wednesday's games were all close, and as we saw, everybody has a shot for that championships. Today is going to be a crucial day.
Crucial day indeed. These teams are hunting for a gold medal here in 2023. As we take a look at the highlights from day 1 and how we got here. In fact, we're going to go to tail of the tape instead, taking a look at Army and Navy and how these two got here. Goal differentials for both. Army, of course, +1. Navy is -1. As you see right there on your screen, Army was able to defeat the Marines 2-1 in that first match. Kristen, John Ponce got the scoring started here at the Armed Forces Championship in the 46th minute on a wonderful service and assist by Devontae Blake. Ponce added a second goal in the 65th minute on a PK. Controversial PK that was called by the AR1. The Marines added a goal, their first of the tournament, in the 78th minute by Aaron Krantz. He was set up on a set piece by Randall McDermott. Krantz headed one home. But the difference in that match, a wicked sliding stop by Donald Williams, the center back for Army, that proved to be it. We'll take a look at the lineups here for both squads before first touch and before we are underway. You see the Navy lineup pretty much the same, but there's a player out for Navy today, Captain Lynn.
Julio Noel had 2 yellow cards last game, resulting in a red and ejection in the 78th minute. This hurt Navy as they played with 10 men into overtime, hoping to hold Air Force to penalty kicks, but lost with that golden goal by Isaac D'Souza off a corner. Julio will not be allowed to play in today's match versus Army.
And you see the Army is starting 11, 4-3-3 for both. Formation-wise, Joshua Green, the head coach for Army. Jay Renard is the head coach for Navy. As we get set and get ready to get underway here for day number 2. The referees here on day number 2. In this first match, Olvin Olivia is the ref. AR1 is Peter Hansen. The AR2, Logan Reeves. The 4th official is Lorenzo Hernandez. Hernandez was the referee for the first match between the Army and the Marines. But celebrating the 75th year of Armed Forces sports, it's a beautiful day. Appreciate you joining us and our crew. Army-Navy, big-time rivalry. What's something you're looking for here right out of the gate?
Yes, Alex, it's a tale as old as time, this big rivalry, Army-Navy. So obviously both teams want to win, but a win is crucial for Navy today. So we're going to see them coming out hot and strong here in the first 2 minutes.
Not out of the question. Like you said, perfect statement by you in the open that even though Navy and Marines both dropped their first matches, does not mean that they can't get to the gold medal match on Tuesday. And so Navy trying to come back with some vengeance. And listen, Captain Lynn, Navy through the first 40 minutes against the Department of Air Force, I think they outclassed the Air Force in that first match. Julio Noel, who you said was sent off, scored that first goal, but they had to play down a man. And then it was the 116th minute goal by the Air Force that was able to prove to be the difference. That was 4 minutes before PKs started.
I know Navy was really hoping for that PK shootout yesterday, but the loss of Julio is just really going to hurt them today as well, as he's sitting on the bench.
Yeah, getting the start in his place at the right wing position is Jaden Joseph. Yeah, Bentley, the striker for Navy. Joe Alex is the left wing. Midfields, attacking mid, Brandon Buendia. Center mid, Alex Maney. Nando Manrique is the holding mid. Then the left back, Chris Fison, the right back, Omar Chandum, and the center backs of Dan Redden, Andrew Grossman. In goal, in between the pipes, Tyler Fanning. Luke Barbet is the captain. He's the keeper for Army today. They are not going with, that's a keeper change. They're not going with Jay May. So instead it's Barbet today. Left back, Joseph Carslow. The center backs of Chad Quick, Donald Williams. You have a good piece on Quick that we'll hear later on. The right back, Joseph Reese. Then the midfields, the holding mid is Ivan Oseguera. Left center mid, Victor Kosivi. Right center mid, Christian King. Left wing is Louis Robinson. So we get our first whistle of the contest. John Ponce, who scored 2 the other day against the Marines. And Devontae Blake, the right wing, who set him up for the first.
And on Wednesday, we saw a pretty physical game between Army and the Marines, and not as physical of a game between Navy and Air Force, but already we can see that first whistle setting the tone that I think today is going to be a more physical game for the two of them.
So Navy has a 1-match winning streak. They beat Army last year. They crushed Army last year, 5-1. Army, of course, that 1-match losing streak, they were able to beat Navy 2-0 back in 2019. These two always go back and forth. And we talked about the pace, the passion, the physicality. You're going to see it here today. So Army, who last won gold in 2019. Navy, who's been to a plethora of gold medal matches, have just not found a way to get it done. They're hoping that this year is different. They last won the gold 20 years ago in 2003.
And I know for Army, a big focus point this year is team chemistry as they embrace their team motto, 11 as 1. So we're going to really see that today.
Carslow clears. Navy on the tack here. Maney. Just that touch right there. You can see he's so good. Just getting a foot on the ball. Chris Fison. Going to stay on that far side of the pitch. There's Chandum, who booted it off an Army defender.
You can see that Navy is already taking control of this game and really keeping possession here on Army's half.
And this is what we saw. I know we're only 4 minutes into this match, about a little under, but this is what Navy did. They put the pressure on the back line of the Air Force right from first touch. And seriously, they dominated the first 40 minutes. I think if you asked Lieutenant Colonel Kirschman, for the head coach for the Air Force, he would have said the exact same thing, as we have our first corner here for the Navy on the far side.
And everybody really tries to fight for that early goal because that really will defeat a team pretty early on. And so I think that's what Navy's going to be looking for here with this first corner kick.
And the first corner going to be taken by Alex Maney, lieutenant, originally from Ashburn, Virginia. And the referee, and Olvin Olivia, wants to make sure that these players are talked to here. They space out. And Maney, who's stationed at Naval Base in San Diego, about 40 miles from here. Can he set up the first? See if he wants to play it short to Chandum. Wants to send it. He's waving off Chandum, so he's sending it inside the penalty area. Maney, corner, off the head, just wide of the mark. Boy, that was a great ball that found the tallest player on the team in Dan Redden, but Redden couldn't quite get it on target.
I know for that short option, he did wave him off, but that's another way for that player to pull out a defender from the inside the box and make it less congested in there for their other teammates.
I think you'd like to see Army close better on Redden there. You have to mark the tallest man, especially on a corner like that.
Yes, Alex, I think that's essential, and I think that's something that they're going to look to improve for the next one. What impressed you most about Army in that first match on Wednesday? I think what impressed me most is, one, that they were able to match the physicality of the Marine Corps. I know they talked about that before the match, is that they knew that they were going to have to step it up in the physicality department, and they really set the tone there, as well as they didn't let that goal really get to them when Marine Corps scored that late goal, and they really kept their heads on them and kept going.
Could be a chance here for Army. Flag goes up. That goal is not going to count there by Christian King. The AR2 and Logan Reeves was all over it and deemed that King was offside. So a good build up there by the Army, and they can score in a flash. The Navy back line understanding that, but Logan Reeves, the AR2, was all over it, and King was offside. And remember, that's something that Josh Green told us on the Zoom call earlier last week. This is a setup here, Devontae Blake. He set up the first in the first match, pings one off Redden, and that is going to be now a corner here on the near side for Army, their first of the match in the 7th minute. But remember, Josh Green told us, Kristen, he said that we wanted to get older. We wanted to get more experienced. Average age last tournament last year at MacDill Air Force Base was 22. This year, 26 average age. As we see the first corner going to be taken here by Joseph Reese, the corporal and the right back for Army. Can Reese set up the first?
And Army's starting to regain control here as they had that offsides call. It did also show them how lethal that they can be, and they're ready to finish when called upon.
Donald Williams. Headed away by Redden. Fison just wants to get out of harm's way right around the middle of the pitch. Now Army on the far side. Good back heel. Joseph Carslow, first lieutenant. Out wide to Reese. Reese. Cross, headed away. Bain Bentley. Army wanted a handball. It was not called by Olvin Olivia. Army thought Jaden Joseph got a hand on it.
And it looks like Navy's on their heels right now, and I know they really wanted Jaden to kind of hold on to that ball and hopefully get the momentum to go forward. But right now, Army's been on their half for the last 2 or 3 minutes.
Carslow, left foot. Fringe of the 18. Good deflection there and a great touch to dispossess the ball by Ivan Oseguera. Foul going to be called. So this will be a set piece and a free kick here for Army. Looks like Carslow may take it.
They try to play that quick ball there, catching Navy off guard, who's still complaining about the last call there, but the ref didn't let them play on.
Yeah, that was Louis Robinson with a cheeky play there, and why not try it? He's trying to lead Carslow near the corner flag. Robinson, left foot. Army inside the 18. Could be a right foot rocket. It's deflected. That shot attempt by Devontae Blake. And that one well wide of the mark by Victor Kosivi, the sergeant stationed in Fort Bragg, North Carolina. So the Navy holds there. About to reach the 11th minute of the match. So far, both sides have had a couple of chances here. Seems like the Army playing with a little more pace and better touch on the ball.
They're winning those 50-50 balls in the air, especially, Alex.
Nice move on the outside there on the wing by Louis Robinson. Now Joseph Reese here on the near side. Reese trying to make a move, trying to find a teammate. Reese through ball. It was Essentially intercepted by Dan Redden.
That was a good job by Redden by tracking his man there into the box, because that could have been a dangerous one for Army.
Something I like, and I know you want to bring it up, is the way that Army right now is playing defense in their attacking third.
Yes, and that's what I was saying by setting the tone here early on, is they really want, every time they lose the ball, to have 2 or 3 men on the ball at all times and getting that pressure, trying to make Navy make that mistake.
Devontae Blake thought about crossing in with the right foot, couldn't get it past Redden, and then a foul was called. We'll call this about 5 to 6 yards outside the 18. So this could be a ripe chance here for Army to strike. So Louis Robinson, the left wing, coming all the way here on the right side, the near side of the pitch. Robinson, another one who's stationed in Fort Bragg, over at Fort Bragg in North Carolina. It's going to be a 2-man wall here for Navy. Robinson with the left. Into the 18, looking for a head of a teammate, popped in the air and over the bar, but it was last touched off the head of a Naval defender. And so Joseph Reese will make the run and take the corner on the far side.
They're going to get chance after chance after chance with these corners. That's not a good sign for Navy as they get better and better each time they're taking these.
Reese, low liner. Went off the head of Chris Fison.
I don't think that near post service is what he was looking for, as Army was pretty stacked there on the back post.
Good deflection there by Jaden Joseph to give Navy the ball. What do you want to see from Navy here? How do they now control tempo for the next 13 minutes or so?
I think Navy really, we want to see the other goal scorers, especially with Noel out this match. We need to see that and prove that they are able to score and score early. So that's something that they're going to want to do.
How do you play without a guy like Noel? It's not easy, right? You lose your superstar. Of course, he picked up the double yellow, and he scored the first goal of the tournament for the Navy. But how do you rally the troops? How do you rally around each other and say, listen, we can still win without him?
I know for a lot of these teams that they've only been practicing for 3 or 4 weeks now, so that team chemistry is crucial in opportunities like this. So losing one of those starting lineups is really going to hurt Navy, but I don't think it's going to hurt them that bad. I think that they have the deep bench and they have the capability to come back from that.
When in doubt in the military, but also on the pitch, next man up, right? That's the mentality, and that's what it's got to be here for Navy. Got a great pass there. Maney. It seems like Alex Maney could be a guy we circle at the end of this match if Navy wins, who orchestrates this attack, orchestrates the offense, and provides something for them in the middle of the pitch. Good dispossession there by Brandon Buendia. Buendia, who scored 3 last year. He was tied for the tourney lead with his teammate from the Navy, Jonathan Conan. Navy's attack was not the problem in 2022. They found the back of the net 8 times. I guess their problem, if you will, was allowing 6 goals. 6 goals in 4 matches. About a goal and a half per match, and so I think you'd like to see that number come down, but averaging 2 goals per match, that's pretty dynamite.
Yes, defense wins championships, so that's something that they're going to want to focus on if that's going to get them there.
They've had to play a lot of defense today. Set piece. It was off the head of Bentley. Now Bentley, with a great deflection, leads himself here. 1v1 with Kosivi. Bentley gets to his right foot, How about this from Blaine Bentley? Could be a right foot rocket here. It is, and what a save. Might have pinged off the post. That shot by Buendia. There's a reason I just talked about him scoring 3 last year at MacDill Air Force Base. And boy, I know everyone would love to see a replay off of that right foot from Buendia. I believe that might have been all post there, Captain Lynn.
That was a great shot there by the center of the midfield. He was largely unmarked, and so he saw his shot and he took it.
Buendia wanted another one there. Now it's the Navy on the attack, trying to put the pressure on the back line of the Army. Oh, good move. Great move by Blake, who couldn't get enough on it. Almost a foul by Joseph, nothing called. But as much as the Army here, Kristen, has controlled the pace, right, and controlled a lot of the ball, the Navy get the best look and had the best chance on that shot by Buendia.
That was a really good job, too, by Blaine Bentley there for Navy, just to get the ball and hold on to it, waiting for his teammates to catch up to him, and that's really what gave them the chance there.
Absolutely. Perfect point. Bentley was able to get 2 different deflections, then kind of led himself up the pitch over here on the near side, and then went from left to right, played it through the middle. Thought it was excellent.
And something that I really admire about the Army defense there is how organized they are. And I know that comes a lot from their center back there, Chad Quick. And Chad is actually one of 4 siblings who entered the Army through ROTC. So he has a younger sister who is currently serving as a signal officer, and an older sister who served as a signal officer, and his older brother who served as an engineer officer. So it looks like Army there is in the family.
Keeping it in the family there. Army on the attack. Through ball. Robinson. And the flag went up for offside. Let's take a look at this shot attempt again by Buendia. Look how far out he is. I think it got all posts, right? It was a little hard to see from that angle, but I'm not sure that Barbe got a hand on it or not.
It doesn't look like he got the hand on it, but it does look like it hit the post. I know from that far out, he kind of just wants to test the keeper, especially this early on in the match. He wants to make sure he's keeping him honest.
I loved your story that you had there on Chad Quick. He's also in his 2nd season playing in the Washington Premier League. Pretty cool career highlights for him.
Yeah, and Chad actually wants to thank his fiancée, Allie, who's out there watching. And he's really appreciative for that support while she plans their wedding in October. So he's doing some hard work over there, and she is hard at work at home.
Absolutely. An early congrats to them for their soon-to-be marriage in October. By the way, I said 2nd season playing the Washington Premier League. I meant to say played 2 seasons in the Washington Premier League. A pretty cool career highlight for him. So 20 minutes in, 21st minute coming up between the Army and the Navy. What a rivalry. Appreciate you joining us. Alex Gould, U.S. Air Force, Captain Kristen Lynn, and the 2nd Audio-Visual Squadron out of Hill Air Force Base in Layton, Utah. Our crew has been working really hard behind the scenes, in front of the scenes, making sure that this broadcast looks and sounds as good as it already is as a player is down for Army.
looks like we have an injury down there. I can't tell who it is.
Louis Robinson is the man down for Army right now. He's grabbing that left leg. So Army did not travel with a medical staff, so that's the Naval medical staff. The Navy taking a look at him. That is Brad Pausick, as well as Oscar Oliveras.
It looks like he's almost grabbing the back of his knee there. And as soccer players, you never want to see any player hold their knee. That's always a scary thought.
So Robinson, a vital piece to the puzzle for Army. Hoping that he's okay. Still getting attention over there on that far side, and said the Navy medical staff was taking a look at him, but I believe Sydney Kinder was in there as well. She represents the Marines. And Robinson trying to jog it off here, trying to stay in this match.
Speaking of that awesome medical support by the Marine Corps too, they have been incredible hosts for us here at Camp Pendleton, especially a shout out to the Camp Pendleton Single Marine program who fed the entire crew yesterday during halftime.
Absolutely. And it's not just our crew that's working hard. It's a lot of people who put this together. Steve Denote is one of the biggest. He helps run the Armed Forces Sports and getting this together. And Steve's doing about 17 different jobs at once. He had to drive yesterday to the Navy base in San Diego for a meeting for the Council of International Youth Sports, CISM Golf. And they're going to host CISM Golf in San Diego later this year. It's not a great pass there. Numbers for Army. This is a 3-on-2. Here's Blake. Ripe chance for Army. Right foot try, and a deflection is good. So that was Kosivi, and then it looked like King deflected it in. So King kind of stole the goal from Kosivi, but King was onside. The first one for Army in the 24th minute.
And that's a big goal for them before halftime.
And actually,
looks like an own goal.
Yeah, it kind of went off the back foot of Andrew Grossman, who was trying to hawk Christian King there.
Oh, it looks like they're calling it back.
Wow. How about this? What a delayed call here.
After the full celebration and everything. It looks like he had a conversation there with his sideline referee.
So Olvin Olivia, the ref, went up to Logan Reeves to talk to him. And they deemed that he was offside. And of course...
And we're going to take another look at this, because that's a weird thing that neither of us were tracking. You don't see the flag go up there at all. I don't really see what happened there. It's a weird call. I'm not sure if he was calling the ball, the initial ball that went to him, or that cross, because it wasn't touched by him. So that is a weird call.
Wow, so a big call there. And so the flag went up. And that took away the goal from Christian King. and realistically an own goal like we said. But King was deemed offside. It did look like on the replay there he was. But oftentimes you don't see a delay like that. Normally you see the flag go up right away. Now the Navy and Alex Maney have a set piece here. Boy, this would be a swing of momentum. All of a sudden, Navy can strike. Saw the replay there. It's just tough to see. Did look like, though, on that initial replay that Christian King might have been off.
And it looks like that call gave Navy the momentum they needed to get back into the Army half.
How do you regroup if you're Army here after that goal was called back?
It's a little weird that they had to wait after a full celebration. I think that also takes a toll there on the morale a little bit. But Army just needs to keep doing what they're doing. They're causing dangerous situations for themselves. They've had 2 offsides calls, so they need to be careful on that front.
By the way, that was Peter Hansen, the AR1. Logan Reeves, the AR2, of course, on the far side of the pitch. So Peter Hansen was the one who made that call. Now Army, after the goal was called back, there's a deflection from Redden. It'll be an Army corner. Good run there by Kosivi. Kosivi's been everywhere. I mean, he was on the near side of the pitch. He's the one who took that shot off the right foot. That was then deflected by Andrew Grossman into the back of the net. Peter Hansen with a late flag up for offside. Now Robinson to take the corner. Good to see him back in the match. Curved away. Finds King. Right foot try by Quick. Field goal is good. That's not what he was looking for.
It is good to see that Robinson is back in the match and able to do those free kicks with that knee injury there. He is limping a little bit, but I don't think it's affecting him as of late.
So the Army, who only have 1 returning player from last year's team. And then the Navy, they have 4 returners from last year. Army on the far side. Good move, left foot, looking for someone on the near side here. Kosivi, 1v2. Play was stopped, though, as another man for Army is down.
And it looks like he's holding his head. I'm not sure if he got hit. We didn't see that one. Looks like he seems to be bleeding there. So they're going to have to clean that up, and it looks like they're going to clear the field while they clean that up.
Devontae Blake is down, and so both sides will go to their sidelines right now and regroup. But yeah, man, that was clearly a nasty shot to the back of the head for Devontae Blake. Been working really hard in this tournament. He set up the first goal by John Ponce against the Marines in the 46th minute in stoppage of the first half. He's a PFC in the Army, originally from Clarksville, Tennessee. He's stationed in Joint Base Fort Lewis in Washington. So Blake a little shaken up here, hoping that he's all right. That's something we talked about on day one, Captain, but injuries do happen in soccer. It's a physical sport, of course, and so I think that's why sometimes, right, there's a lot of officers who let these guys play and come to this, of course, but they really are holding their breaths. they do not want them to get injured here on the pitch.
Yeah, and it looks like we also saw a shot there of the Navy player holding his head as well. So both of them are getting checked out after a collision. And I know we saw the Army captain talking to the referee. They're not happy with that contact there.
Yeah, that's Bentley, who was getting looked at. It looked like maybe he got some of that turf in the eye. And so they were kind of watering down the eye, hoping to get that squared away, and he's back on the pitch, so that's good to see. Blake is still getting tended to over there on the Army bench. That actually might have been a break. Listen, referee there was right to stop the play. Anytime you get a head injury, it doesn't matter if Army may have a goal opportunity. Olivia stopped play. And it might have been a break for Navy. Army was pushing on the attack just outside the penalty area.
They're going to do a drop ball there and give it back to Army, who had the ball, as they move it around the defense.
So Army playing a man down, of course, because Blake is getting looked at on the sideline still. And boy, that was not a great touch there from Luke Barbet. This gives Navy a golden opportunity here. Throw in on the near side. It's going to be Joe Alex to take it. Remember, Navy's up a man right now.
And speaking of Joe Alex, he is actually a huge baseball fan outside of soccer. And he collects baseball cards and owns an Aaron Judge home field advantage, which is his favorite, and a big New York Yankees fan.
Aaron Judge, of course, who broke the Yankees' all-time home run record for a season last year. That's a good card to have. How do you play it here with about 12 plus until stoppage? We could get a lengthy stoppage here in the first half. There's been a lot of whistles. A couple men get injured. How do you play it here if you're Army down a man?
It looks like he's getting ready to get back on the field, though. We see him there at the half line waiting for his opportunity to get back in. So I know for a fact that they want him back in as soon as possible. You want to play it safe until you're back to full strength.
Wanted to clear it out. Right foot try Chandum. Deflection by Robinson.
And it must have been a pretty deep cut because they came back and rewrapped it there on the sideline. Looking for approval there by the ref.
So if you're just joining us, 0-0, 0-0 between the Army and the Navy. Big time rivalry. Blake is back in the game, so it's now 11-11. Right foot try just over the bar. Boy, good look there from Chris Fison. The PO1 in the Navy. The back for Navy. Fison, who's the left back. That was a rocket. It missed everything.
Looked like a nice field goal.
We've seen a lot of those here on this artificial football field. It's good for soccer as well. Carslow plays it out. Throw in here for Maney and the Navy. They'll throw it in quickly to Nando Manrique. Chandum made a big difference against the Air Force when they were playing down a man. His defense almost got Navy to PKs.
And Chandum's ability and his speed to get up and down that field is really helpful there for the Navy on the attack and the defense.
Player goes down for Navy. This will be a set piece and a free kick. This one will be about 10 yards outside the 18.
And Army is not happy about that call there. Not only is that in a dangerous spot for Navy for a free kick, but they disagree with the foul as well.
Brandon Buendia hit the deck, hit the turf. And now what do you think here? You're going to see the wall set up by Army. You think Maney plays one on frame here? You think he tries to kind of chip one in to the head of a teammate to try and put one in the back of the net?
And he doesn't have anybody lining up with him for that as well, for the support. So I think he's going to go for the shot there.
Of course, even if he doesn't find the back of the net, maybe a deflection by the keeper here and Luke Barbet.
And another option he has there is out wide. But Army just saw that and covered down.
Alex Maney to take it, trying to find a teammate. Didn't play it on frame. And on a one-time was Buendia, who was wide of the mark. So Maney may be thinking he didn't quite have the angle there to finish near post.
And it kind of looked like it was almost a mishit there, Alex. It looked like it wasn't quite a service, but it wasn't quite a shot either.
Good ball there by Joe Alex to get the deflection. Here's Bentley, 1v3, and Chad Quick, who you talked about earlier, with a great stop. Immediately was trying to find John Ponce. Ponce keeps it alive and bangs it off of Chris Fison.
And Ponce doing a good job there as the center forward. And what they really look for is when he's able to get it, for him to hold on to it so that they can get there and support him and make their move down the field.
Yeah, and I'll tell you what, something that we've seen so far here, I know it's just the third match. We're not quite at half yet, quite at the break between these two, but we've seen these back lines short up a lot more here in 2023. There were so many goals scored in 2022, and I think that's what a lot of coaches focused on coming in to this 2023 Armed Forces Men's Soccer Championship, was to really shore up the back line. We've seen some brilliant defense so far.
And I think that defense also starts in the middle half of the field as well, as we see the 50-50 balls, the battle that we have seen in this game, just in that 50-yard line of them going back and forth, and that's really where that defense is starting.
So we're being told, good job by our crew and by the truck, being told that Christian King interfered with the scoring attempt by Kosivi and interfered with a player on Navy, and so he was called offside after the discussion by Olvin Olivia and Peter Hansen. Ball's out wide. Jaden Joseph. It's a give and go between him and Nando Manrique. And Manrique, man down. Another set piece and a free kick right over by the Navy bench.
And Manrique really is a critical part of this Navy team. He is actually their team captain and has a twin brother, Diego. I don't know if you knew that, Alex, but they were born just 10 minutes apart, and his whole family is in on this soccer gig.
Didn't know that. Another good one from you there. His twin brother is proud of him. Maney, boy, found the head of Redden. Yet again, for the second time today, he has slipped through behind the back line, but not quite on frame. They've had trouble marking Redden and his length and his size on some of the set pieces here in the tournament. We've seen 2 goals scored right around this time frame. In the 46th minute, that was when Army got their first from John Ponce last match versus the Marines. Lost a doing for the Department of Air Force in the 42nd minute. It was an equalizer against the Navy.
It's all about those first 5 and the last 5 in each half. That's really where you set the tone, and going into halftime, it makes a huge difference to be up 1-0.
Army's gotten great touches. Here is the goal scorer in Ponce. Always looking to strike. Not enough on the touch there. He was looking for Kosivi. This has been a fun battle to watch, huh? Between Bentley and Reese.
Yeah, Bentley has that speed that has proven to be dangerous there for a Navy.
And Reese has done a nice job locking him down so far. Handball called on Army.
Navy's taking their time there.
Dangerous there from Quick. Keeper and Barbe had to come out, boot it away. Good ball here to Kosivi by Ponce.
It's a 3v3 opportunity here.
Kosivi trying to make his move. Kosivi, Ponce. Oh my. He kind of popped that in the air to himself and tried a one-time. Robinson keeps it in play. What more can we say about Omar Chandu? He has been stellar as the right back for Navy. Foul called. I'm curious to see how much at a time we're going to get. There was a lot of downtime, a couple of injuries, especially the one to Devontae Blake. You could see about 4 or 5 minutes. So Army trying to set up their first.
I actually think it's going to be closer to 6 or 7, which
Right.
can be a game changer here going into half.
Absolutely. Robinson will take it yet again with that lethal left foot. Robinson curving in, found Blake, and a try, and yet again, who else but John Ponce, his 3rd goal of the tournament. What a setup. It went Robinson to Blake, Blake to Ponce, Ponce to the back of the net. 1-0 Army.
Wow, and you see right before the celebration there, Carslow looks at the sideline referee to make sure nothing was offsides before they celebrate, so I know they're excited for that one.
We'll take a look at this one again. What a setup by Robinson. This was magnificent. Robinson, Blake to Ponce for the goal. And what did I just talk about there? Captain Lynn, I said we've seen 2 goals right before the half, and Army strikes yet again. They lead it 1-0.
And you see Navy's doing their best to respond quickly, because that is what's going to keep them in this game. Is if they can tie it up before halftime, that makes a world of a difference.
So Army didn't get their first from Ponce until the 46th minute against the Marines. They get their first against the Navy in the 45th minute by Ponce. And right now, the golden boot, if you will, is all John Ponce. He's now got 3. And by the way, that's Devontae Blake's second assist to Ponce. He set up the first of the tournament against the Marines.
And Blake did a great job there on that free kick of putting it back into the box for that second opportunity. And he was in great placement and a great finish.
Long throw in here for the Navy, trying to equalize. So we're not sure yet how much time was added. I didn't see the board come out. So unsure right now of how much time has been added on. Maney with a long throw in here. Can Navy equalize before the break? Army crashing. Last touched by the Army. It's going to be a corner. Army can't believe it.
That's a big break there for Navy right before the half. A good opportunity there for a corner.
So Alex Maney just had the long throw in. Now has the corner on the far side. High arcing, good ball by Maney, punched away by Barbe. Christian King boots it down the pitch. See if Chandu wants to play it right back. He does, trying to switch sides of the pitch.
You see an offside flag.
But offside was called. Great save by Barbe. It's not going to count because Joe Alex was offside. Also, might have been a couple of different players there for Navy offside. Jaden Joseph in the mix as well.
And Navy there gives a hand to the Army goalkeeper to help him play a little faster. They want that goal before half.
So 6 minutes we're at it. You called it on the button there, Captain Lynn. You knew how much time there was. You had your stopwatch out, huh?
Always cheating.
So 6 minutes were added on. So right now we're +4. Roughly 2 to go here until the half. Bentley with the deflection. That will be a goal kick, and Barbe is going to take his time. Instead, Bentley's going to drop him the ball here. But also going back to that last goal. And I know it was kind of chaos, and that's what Army was trying to create from Robinson to Blake, Blake to Ponce. But it feels like at all times, Kristen, you have to know where number 9 is for Army.
Definitely, and I think that's something that they're going to go back and talk about at halftime, because they can't, and if they don't fix that, that it can hurt them again in the second half.
You have to man mark John Ponce at this point. I think he proved it. I know one of them was via PK, but he had that goal that was set up by Blake against the Marines. He's got his 3rd. The most we saw by a player in last year's tournament, talked about it already, was Brandon Buendia, who's playing for the Navy in this game. Him and Jonathan Conan for the Navy, each struck 3 different times. Ponce already has 3. We're not even through the second match of the tournament yet.
You know, we're trying to delay the game here because they really want to go into the half. That one 1 goal up.
So Army, who has not trailed yet in this tournament, play from ahead again. Now we're just waiting to see when the whistle is coming from Olvin Olivia. And that is the whistle to signify halftime between these two longtime rivals, comrades on the battlefield, but enemies on the pitch. Army ahead of Navy 1-0. Thoughts on that first half there, partner?
I think that was a great first half by both teams. It was a pretty back and forth game, and both teams really took control, and then Army just came up with that goal on top.
So 1-0 at the break. Our crew, who we've talked about, has done a great job so far, all tournament long. We have a great piece for you at the half here on the Marine Corps and talking about that 1998 team who won the gold medal. The last time the Marines won the gold medal in 1998. And then a really good piece on one of the keepers for the Marines coming up here at the half. We'll see you guys on the flip side.
My favorite memory was we were playing the Navy in the last game, and the winner of that game was going to determine the winner of the championship. And we had like about 1 minute left, and our midfielder put the ball right into the goal. That was my most favorite thing. I almost passed out for the joy that I presented that day.
Some of the keys to success is having the kids, I call them kids now because they're much younger, is to constantly play soccer throughout the years. You know, and continue to have that playing time. So when you get to the tournament, you're already fit, you've already been playing the game. And that's part of the keys to success. The Marine Corps doesn't win this tournament too often, as you can tell by the time period. It would really mean the most of the guys on the field, you know, with all their hard work and dedication over the time to get to this point.
All right with the Marine Corps, so that
Speaking of physicality, McDermott, and it's headed into the back of the net. Oh, what a ball from Randall.
So my full name is Brock William Glaze Barbeau, and I'm a supply chain management officer in the Marine Corps. I was born and raised in Kingston, Ontario, Canada. I moved here in 2004. I grew up with soccer, right? So from the time I could walk, I developed my passion for the game, playing club, playing college, developing into the semi-professional rank. When I enlisted originally, you know, I thought my soccer career was done. So, you know, did my first year or so and then found out through a friend about the Marine Corps soccer team and joined up in 2018.
So you know what that means?
Win or die.
Bad news for the Air Force.
So I almost got out actually at the end of this year. And one of the things I look forward to every single year is the ability to apply and try out and come back and play for this team. You know, it's rejuvenating. It's a great enlistment tool. So I know a lot of people who are in the same boat where they continue to serve because it gives us the break. That, you know, the Marine Corps is so high up tempo, it's so stressful that for 3 weeks we just really get to do what we love, and it keeps us going year after year.
Take care of your bodies. Right?
We haven't won in 25 years, you know.
11 on the field, but
In my 5 years, I've seen the program really develop. In 19, in 18, you know, we didn't really have much. And, you know, Carrie has done a fantastic job, and Coach Rocky has done a fantastic job, and our new athletic coordinator coming in, our service rep, they continue to build this program to the point where if we were able to win, it would help spread that word, and it would really help to emphasize what we're doing and how special it is, and further grow our program to the point where we could be competing on a yearly basis.
all right, fellas, family on three. 1, 2, 3. Family!
Back here at Camp Pendleton, start of the second half between the Army and the Navy. Navy starts with it here in the second half, trailing 1-0. For Army, they get another goal from John Ponce, his third in the 45th minute, right before stoppage. So Navy trying to answer the call here and equalize, and Captain Lynn, they'd like to do so right away.
Yes, that first 5 minutes is crucial for them as they look to tie it as soon as they can.
So the Army trying to get back to the gold medal match. If they start 2-0, Captain Lynn, they are pretty much in to that gold medal match. So they're trying to hang on. Navy had an opportunity there, flag up for offside.
And on the flip side there, Navy knows that this is a must-win for them if they have a shot there at that championship match.
The Navy, of course, who were in the gold medal match last year at MacDill Air Force Base, losing to the Department of Air Force 4-0 in that gold medal match. And they do not want to see themselves go down 0-2 going into that final match against the Marines. The Navy go down 0-2. They would need the Marines to beat the Air Force. Then, of course, the Navy would have to beat the Air Force in that final match. And then, Navy would have to beat the Marines in that final match. And then the Army would have to beat the Department of Air Force if the Navy wants any shot to get in. So they have got to find a way to equalize here. The Army hoping that their defense can hold serve.
And you never want to be in the situation where you're relying on other teams to win. So I know Navy really wants to get back into this game so that they can keep the fate in their hands.
Absolutely. Maney wants to go with that long throw in again. He waved off a teammate.
You can see there the Marine Corps right behind. That's the Marine Corps team there looking on as that they're going to compete next against Air Force.
Rocky Ferdine, the head coach of the Marines, looking on, doing some scouting. Cleared away by Blake. Another throw-in. So Maney with his third throw in a row over there on the far side. He's been busy.
They're taking advantage of that long throw, getting it in the box.
Of course, he's trying to cause havoc instead. Elects to go short here. Right foot cross. It's a good one off the head of Quick. Still inside the penalty area. Army could counter here, instead booting it down the pitch. Looks like that was Kosivi. Another thing we haven't talked about yet in this tournament, Kristen, is that these guys just don't have a lot of time to practice together, right? And it's one thing when you can practice for 6 months to a year before you start playing some true competitions. These guys get at most 2 weeks.
Yes, these men are coming from all over the world, not just the country there. And so they only get 3 or 4 weeks to acclimate here in the United States, as well as to each other, and really start gelling. So that piece is critical in this tournament.
Army, who already have 1. Ponce's got 3 in the tournament, 1 today. Good dispossession. Bentley on the break. Ponce gets it back. And good defense in his attacking third, and looked like the referee there in Olvin Olivia was going to play advantage and said stops it. So it's a set piece.
Navy's got to be careful about giving up those set pieces because that is where Army has proven to get most of their opportunities from.
So Kosivi will take it. Victor Kosivi, sergeant, stationed in Fort Bragg, North Carolina. Trying to set up a second. Off the head and over everything. That went off the head of Donald Williams, who's also stationed in Fort Bragg, North Carolina.
Navy looks to play quick there. They really want to keep possession and control this game as much as possible.
A miss-hit that time by Maney. A rare mistake for him. Right foot try.
That's not the place you want to lose the ball there, Alex, right in the middle of the field.
Absolutely. That thing was launched by Devontae Blake. Navy, it's just, they've had little opportunities in this match at times, and this could be one here. Just haven't been able to capitalize. Bentley working on Donald Williams. Bentley was trying to get to his right. Williams disallowing it. Bentley can't get it through Donald Williams. Boy, he is so good as the center back on that far side of the pitch. And he's fired up.
Strong defending there, and he held his ground, and he knew that he was going to get frustrated and get that foul.
Remember, it was because of Donald Williams. You kind of dove on the ground. You kind of chested a ball, bodied up on it, and then was able to clear. Otherwise, the Marines would have struck first against the Army. You potentially would have been looking at a 2-2 match heading in to extra time. So Williams making a case for the all-tournament team in the first match and a half.
And Navy again with that quick free kick, looking to get in the box.
And Louis Robinson. Not too far on the touch, though. He's kind of trying to play it to himself here on the near side.
And Louis Robinson actually started playing for the Haitian national soccer team as a junior in U15, U17, and U20, and he played for the Division I league in Haiti, coming to the U.S. in 2017 and joining the Army in 2020.
Ball here to Jaden Joseph. Joseph's another cool story. He's born in New York but lived his whole life in Trinidad. Left Trinidad at the age of 18 to live with his family in Orlando, Florida. He decided to join the Navy in 2020 for the opportunities to see the world and defend the country. He's another pro. He played in the Pro League in the Trinidad and Tobago for W Connection and that team. For 8 years, he played with W Connection, starting at the age of 10 with their youth teams. He's a big-time Barcelona fan. Brees, intercepted by Redden. Actually, that's not Redden. That was intercepted there by Grossman.
And Army's looking to slow the game down there a little bit, make sure regroup, get control, as Navy's looking to speed it up and hopefully get an early goal.
Ponce went down. Redden was all over Ponce that time, and he's sticking with him. Can't see it on the screen right now, but Redden is truly marking. It's almost like a man-to-man style defense here in soccer, where Redden is sticking on the jersey of Ponce. And that's something we talked about. You just can't lose number 9 on the pitch the way he's been scoring it.
And not just with scoring opportunities, he's really the critical piece for the Army offense in keeping the ball and distributing it for others to get opportunities as well. So you're going to be seeing him man-marked here for the majority of the second half.
Robinson to take it. Left foot, looking for a second. Robinson almost bent that thing to the back of the net. Boy, and he's a little frustrated, and I don't think he's frustrated that it didn't go in, but it was a perfect ball that if anybody was on the back post there, it's 2-0 Army.
I think they're relying there on Ponce to get that service, but he is being man-marked, and somebody else really needs to come through for that.
Enrique went down. He thought the foul should have been called earlier. So 57th minute. Alex Gould, U.S. Air Force Captain Kristen Lynn, the 2nd Audio-Visual Squadron from Hill Air Force Base in Layton, Utah. Our entire crew, appreciate you joining us here today. Gorgeous day at Camp Pendleton, hardly a cloud in the sky. That's 65 degrees now. Navy still looking for an equalizer. It was a goal in the 45th minute. John Ponce, his 3rd of the tournament. He was set up by Devontae Blake, and Blake was set up by Louis Robinson. Foul was called to be Navy ball.
And although we're seeing quite a few fouls, we're not seeing any yellow cards yet this game, which is a drastic difference between the Army and Marine Corps game from Wednesday. And I think a lot of that has to do with the number of players in yellow card trouble right now.
Absolutely. Devontae Blake is one of those who picked up a yellow card for the Army. Chance here for Blake, playing with a yellow card in the tournament. Missed wide and high, was off target. So Tyler Fanning will take the goal kick here. Fanning, he started as a keeper at the age of 7. He liked being the one that would save the ball and prevent the other team from scoring. Simple enough, right? That's the keeper's job. Obviously, you have a couple other tasks there, and to kind of line up the back line, make sure they're positioned correctly and whatnot. He was born in Phoenix, Arizona, moved to Minneapolis at the age of 10. And Minneapolis is where he claims home. He was recruited to play college at the age of 18, received offers at San Diego State, Creighton, very good program in Creighton, in Omaha, University of Portland, before committing to the Naval Academy. It's Christian King trying to get a second. Back post, Kosivi. It was deflected and last touched by a Fison, so it'll be a corner for Army on the far side. And Fanning gonna have to line up the Navy troops here and make sure that they prevent the second goal.
Navy defense, like we said at halftime, we know that they're looking to regroup and really shut down Ponce there in the middle, and then you could see that on those opportunities that they're having. Army is having trouble finding other players in the box.
Louis Robinson, he set up the first. Can he set up a second for Army? Instead, Fanning corrals it. Fanning, who thought about playing in the MLS, he was on the MLS draft list as a senior, but decided to continue with his naval aviation pipeline. He's starting flight school at the end of this tournament, so he gets to play on the pitch, prevent some goals, and then he's going to Pensacola, Florida to start flight school. And that's the reality for a lot of these guys.
Yes, that's an exciting opportunity, but him turning down that, MLS opportunity, I'm sure was a hard decision, but we admire the way that these men really serve their country.
Again, Redden and Ponce, so fun to watch these two here, cat and mouse on the pitch. Ponce and Army will have the throw in. Ponce's going to give way to Reese more than likely here. Army very comfortable, even throwing it back a little bit, resetting and changing sides of the pitch as you see here. Deflection, Kosivi fanning with a save and diving back on the ball.
Yeah, Army's looking to keep possession and really control the game and slow it down because, like I said earlier, Navy's looking to ramp it up and get that goal as soon as they can.
Grossman's got some good speed as a center back, and Robinson couldn't get there.
Looks like we have a substitution.
I believe this is, I think this is our second sub. I didn't announce one for Army. Adam Laundrie came into the match, I believe, at the half, so he's been on here in the second half. And then a sub checking in here for the Navy. Get you the player in a moment for Navy. It's Army on the attack here. Ponce, who's got 3 in the tournament. That is well off the mark. So the player that came on for Navy was Heimel Tucker, midfielder, originally from Brooklyn, New York. He's stationed over at USS Essex. Then Tucker, he came on for Joe Alex, so Joe Alex's day is done. Good ball here by Bentley. Jaden Joseph versus Chad Quick. Joseph, left foot, was looking for Bentley, deflected away nicely that time.
He was double teamed there in the middle. Much as we talk about Ponzi for Army, Navy, that Bane Bentley has been dangerous for them as well. So Army's looking to double down there.
Going in short to Manrique, to Maney. Manrique, he's trying to get it to the left foot, couldn't do so. King playing great defense. King deflected it. It was last touched by Christian King. King, who played on the 2019 Armed Forces national team in Wuhan, China. Bentley kind of slipped through here on the near side. And that one looked like it was last touched by Joseph Reese. It was. So a corner kick here for Alex Maney in the Navy. And he's tried to mix up the looks, if you will, mix up the corners. He's gone short a couple of times, kind of low liners. He's gone towards the back post as well. Maney, way short. Miskicked it that time, and he's frustrated with himself. Maney throwing it back to Fanning. Fanning going to boot it down to the far side. Tucker, who just checked in. Laundrie, who checked in at half. Army has it here. Blake. Deflected by Manrique. Throw in here on the far side for Army. And another sub checking in for Army. So Laundrie came on for Carslow at the half. And another sub checking in for this Army team, getting some fresh legs out there. Victor Kosivi, who's been running and gunning all day long. He gets a breather for the rest of this match. Alexander Jake Tosta. He goes by Jake, so Jake Tosta out of Miami, Florida, stationed in Fort Bliss, Texas.
And with that sub, Army really is looking to control the midfield there. They don't want to get tired, and that's when they're going to shut down Navy.
Long throw in by Blake inside the penalty area. Blake off the head of Quick, off the head of Redden. Ball hasn't touched the ground. Finally does so, and it will be a goal kick for Tyler Fanning. Big storyline coming in was Julio Noel, who got the scoring started for the Navy against the Department of Air Force in that first match for them on Wednesday. But he got the double yellow. Red card, had to play down a man. Bentley out wide, handball not called. Jaden Joseph, that cross was over everything. Way too much off the right foot of Joseph. It'll be a goal kick for Luke Barbe.
And you talked about Noel getting ejected from Wednesday's game, and that has proven, I think, to be making this game less physical, with a few players also in yellow card trouble there. And so they're really looking to keep their players for that championship game.
Absolutely. At the very least, keep it for the third match and final match of round robin play. Still plenty of time here. 68th minute between the Army and the Navy. But the clock slowly running out for Navy's potential chance of getting to the gold medal match for the second straight year. Army trying to get there for the first time since 2019. Going up 2-0. It's not automatic that the Army would get in, but is a pretty good chance. Of course, could solidify it by going 3-0. Still a chance, of course, at one of those three-way 2-1 ties that Army could get bounced from, depending on goal differential. That's the tiebreaker.
You see most of the Navy bench back there warming up, and I expect them to get...
Good ball by Blake. Louis Robinson. Robinson with the left foot. Was it deflected? It was not. Robinson was wide of the near post. And Robinson can't believe it here. He thought it was obviously a deflection. He was heading to the corner and hadn't looked back. Instead, it was called a goal kick.
The Navy looks to play quick, as like I said, they have subs warming up in the corner, and I know that they're going to look to put somebody on with fresh legs and get that goal for them.
Chandum tried to make a run, but Grossman didn't want to go to him. I thought Grossman had Chandum here on the near side. Foul called there. Redden went down. And our first yellow card. So the first yellow of this match, and you were just talking about it. Trying to keep everybody fresh and free of any cards. That yellow card goes on Jake Tosta, who just checked in about 7 minutes ago. Boy, that was dangerous there from King. He was trying to wallop one back across the field, and that always could have been dangerous. If anybody was potentially behind him or anticipating that he could have missed there, could have been a goal for Navy to equalize.
And you see Army sitting back quite a few. They're letting Navy's defense play it around back there, but really packing it in and playing it safe.
John Ponce, physical play, looking for his second, could be his fourth of the tournament, just couldn't get enough on it with the left foot. And I think he's recognizing now that he had Robinson to his left about 3 or 4 yards away that he could have played it to for a potential insurance goal.
Yes, he had 3 or 4 defenders on him with Robin have a 1v1 opportunity, and he knows that Robinson has that speed, so I think that would have been a great choice.
It's tough to blame him, though, right? When you've scored 3, got a magnet for the back of the net. Just couldn't quite get enough on that left boot. Quick, went quick. Chandum didn't quite get back. Robinson, good closeout by Chandum. Boy, that was dangerous. And it was last touch by Robinson. It's a goal kick.
He's doing a good job putting them under pressure, making them make those mistakes, and he is not letting up.
Well, you just look up and Robinson's got the ball on the far side. He's got the ball on the near side. He's got the ball in the middle of the pitch.
It seems like that injury in the first half is not affecting him here today in the second.
Yeah, good point. He came off at one point, grabbing the left leg. I'll tell you what, I think that dominant left leg has looked pretty good. So Navy, their gold medal chances are sinking by the minute. 74th minute. Hasn't been a lot of stoppages either here, Kristen, in this second half. As a Navy sub is going to check on Ian Kasache. Originally from Laurel, Maryland. He's stationed over at NCB Gulfport. He checks in. I believe it was Chris Fison who checked out. So Fison, who's played on this team for about 8 years now, near the decade mark, he comes off. Fresh legs for Kasache.
And something fun and unique about the Army jerseys there, is, if you can see, is that each player has their unit patch on their jersey, which is something that only the Army team does here to represent how thankful they are for their units and how proud they are of the jobs that they do outside of this.
I think pride is a great word, right? It's a great adjective to describe what these men feel, right? They get the chance to defend their country and get the chance to represent their branch here in this tournament. And it is bragging rights at the end of the day. As Robinson's been looking for bragging rights all day long. Robinson, left foot laser deflected nicely that time by Grossman, who stuck with him stride for stride and forces the corner.
And that's what makes these games so fun and special, is that service pride that each team has. And they're super competitive on the field, but we're all staying in the same location here at Camp Pendleton. And you see them off the field encouraging each other, and ultimately at the end of the day serving in the U.S. military. So that's something special.
And a lot of the coaches have talked about playing angry on the pitch, right? And trying to win, playing physical, but at the same time off the pitch, right? A lot of these guys are buddies. They know each other. From serving, as that service off the head of, it looked like maybe Laundry there. It's wide of the mark. But also, too, we talked about it on day one. A lot of these guys played and have played together on the Armed Forces national team. A couple of these guys played together 2019 over in Wuhan, China for the World Military Games. Christian King and Alex Maney were teammates on that 2019 team. Maney with the ball here. Can Navy string together a couple of passes here? Something. Another player, by the way, too, that checked in for Army. We're seeing now Chase Holden is into the match. It looks like Ponce checked out. So Ponce's day is done. That's a significant sub. So Holden in. Sergeant, originally from Waynesville, Missouri. He's stationed in Missouri over at Fort Leonard Wood.
Looks like we had a player step off to get taped there, looking to return to the game quickly. I think that's Bane Bentley.
Chandum hits the deck. And I'll tell you what, I know Chandum is their right back, Kristen, as he's down here on the near side of the pitch. And Christian King just picked up a yellow card, so that's his first yellow of the tournament, first of the day for number 10. And Chandum looks like maybe a bloodied up elbow. He's going to have to get looked at here. Actually, no, they are waving off the trainer. And now waving the trainer back on. Trainer's getting a workout here. Still waiting to see. Olvin Olivia is talking to the fourth official, Lorenzo Hernandez, whether he wants the trainer, and I believe eventually Chandum's going to have to go to the sideline and get the elbow looked at.
I think he's bleeding, and the ref's not going to let him play out there with an open wound.
Yeah, and that's a break for Army. He's got to come off here, and now Navy down to their final 12-plus minutes of stoppage. Have to play down a man. And Maney, you can see, is trying to stall as much as he can to wait for Chandum to potentially come back on. He's getting the elbow worked on. Down a man. Can Navy equalize? Good ball here for Maney. Inside the 18. Tucker couldn't make a move. Kept possession of the ball. Ooh, good skill moves there from Heimel Tucker, who subbed on about 15 minutes ago. Tucker went down.
And good job forcing that foul there and getting a good corner kick-like opportunity.
Kasache gives way to Maney. Chandum is still on the sideline. So Navy still down a man. Chandum sprinting back on. low liner, and that thing bent, but it was deflected. So Maney will get another one. But I was starting to say before Chandum went down, just feels like even though that he's their right back, they got to play through him. He's got so much skill with the ball at his feet. It just feels like Navy hasn't played through him enough today.
He is a dangerous player, and I know they're going to be looking for him right now on this corner.
Maney lofts one, and again, Maney, who goes down over there, he is frustrated with himself and has been today all afternoon long.
And that's a devastating one there for Navy. They don't want to see those missed opportunities because those are crucial in a 1-0 match right now.
As Barbe gets ready to boot one away here, question for you. At what point here, if you're the Navy, if not already, are you really going all out attack here, Kristen? Because realistically, this could be your last chance to try and equalize here, to try and get to a potential gold medal match. I know there's still a match in between, but if you start 0-2, the odds are not in your favor.
You can see that they're ready to press by putting on these substitutions and putting on fresh legs, because every time that they lose the ball, the coach is going to be demanding that they hunt it down. This is important for them to really take this opportunity and do what they can with it.
It's Maney, who was frustrated with himself on the previous 2 corner kicks. Maybe he can do it with the hands here. The throw in. Boy, that was a laser beam, and he's going to get another corner, this time on the near side.
But we see on both ends of the field that Army is doing a great job winning those balls in the air, and every 50-50 ball, I think they're a little bit stronger on those.
Maney trying to set it up here. Maybe he learned from the last 2 corners. 83rd minute. Navy needs an equalizer. That was off the head of Christian King. This finds Jaden Joseph. Joseph looking for Maney. Great ball by Joseph. Reese clears it away. There'll be a throw-in.
And they're going to utilize that long throw again, getting it inside the box. Another opportunity for Navy.
Alex Maney yet again. How far can he throw it? Another rifle and another clearance and another corner. Maney will switch sides of the pitch. That was cleared away by Donald Williams.
Like I said, Army is really the first ones getting on those air balls, and Navy needs to do a better job of winning those balls in the air.
Stop me if you've heard this before, but Alex Maney yet again from the far side corner. Looks like a much better ball, and boy, almost an Olympico there, but it was stopped by Luke Barbe. I think by design there, Maney was trying to go for goal, or was he trying to find the head of a teammate on the back post?
It looks like he's trying to bend it straight into the goal there, and we saw that on that first opportunity that went out of bounds, but it hasn't seemed to work yet for Navy.
Next match, approximately 30 minutes after the conclusion of this one between the Army and the Navy. The hosts, the Marines, looking to bounce back from their 2-1 defeat against the Army in the opening match of the tournament. They take on the defending champs and the Department of Air Force, who snuck past Navy on the 116th minute goal.
I believe the Marine Corps here is cheering for Navy. That would really open a door for them that otherwise won't be there if they lose. And we're getting close to the last 5 minutes here of regular time. And I know, as we get closer to the time, Navy is really pressing hard on Army.
So Navy's still on that last build-up. Had 2 players back. They had their center backs in Redden and Grossman. Maney's going to come get it and try and orchestrate here from the back. But at this point, and we just talked about it, I think Navy's got to be on an all-out attack the rest of this match. But then the problem is Army could get an insurance goal. Good ball, Robinson, and a deflection by Chandum. His closing speed yet again. That ball just couldn't quite get to Louis Robinson, but it will be an Army corner, and Reese going to take his time to try and set up this one. So if you're Major and head coach Josh Green, stationed over in Wiesbaden, Germany, trying to coach this Army team to a 2-0 lead in this tournament. This will be a throw-in for Army on the far side. 2 subs checking in here for Army. So Matthew Solis is on for Christian King. And a big reason they're doing that is because King just picked up a yellow card about 10 minutes ago. So King is going to come off. And then Maurice Moore is coming on for Devontae Blake. What a couple of matches it's been for Blake. So Moore, who's another one stationed over at Fort Bragg in North Carolina, one of 6. Solis is stationed over at Joint Base Fort Lewis in Washington. Out of Laundry to throw it in. Laundry, by the way, is spelled Laundree, but it's a fresh name. It's a good last name. Part of the all-name team here. The Armed Forces Championships. Bentley couldn't quite get to it. Nice job by Quick. But here's Chandu. This is something we've been looking for. See his speed, his footwork. Look at this. Chandum dribbling through a couple of defenders, trying to look for help, and nobody was there.
A little bit too many touches there for Chandum in the middle as he loses the ball in a crucial spot for Navy.
Yeah, and he was looking for help there. Maybe a little bit too much dribbling towards the end. You can just see his skills. The ball at his feet. Much different match today than we saw in 2022 between these two rivals. Navy beat the Army 5-1. I mean, they clobbered the Army in 2022. This is just the tale of 365 days, right? The tale of a different season, a different year, different players. That was the big statement that Josh Green, as well as Raul Amendarez, told us on the Zoom call. Left foot try, deflected by his own teammate that time. Robinson, left foot laser. Boy, nice catch by Fanning and a stop there. And now you got to get back if you're Army. Fanning kind of mishit it there, though. That allows Army to get back defensively, and Bentley couldn't control it.
And there's many different factors there for that change in team dynamics from year to year, because we have to think that not every player every year can be allowed to come out here and play with the mission that goes on every day.
Of course. As Armando Franco coming on for his first time in the tournament. Jaden Joseph checking out. From some fresh legs for maybe one final run here for Navy, but they've got to get the ball back. And quickly. We talked about the all-out attack for Navy, which is imminent here if they can get possession of the ball, but also now Army, if they can, they're going to park the bus. If they give it back to Navy, and they may right here, but Redden kind of pops it in the air and mishits it. Then Manrique slipped. Reese, Robinson, deflection by Grossman. Robinson playing great defense in his attacking third, as the only thing that Chandum could do was throw it off of him. Bentley boots one down. Navy's got to get more up, don't they?
Yes, but they have to keep possession. If they boot it up like that, Army just gets it back and then keeps possession, and they're going back down there.
Absolutely. Kasache slips, goes down. This is going to be a set piece here and a free kick for the Navy. So we're here in stoppage time. Wait to see how much time is going to be added on. Alex Maney, set piece here. Pretty much everyone up for the Naval Academy. For Navy. Shouldn't say the Academy, but for Navy is Robinson now leading the break. Look at the keeper here in Fanning. So the keeper is out. Talking about an all-out attack. 4 minutes were added on here. In the 91st minute.
They're really using the keeper there, Fanning, for his size in free kicks like that.
Fanning, who got back there, he may do some dribbling here if he wants. Instead, going to boot it down. Middle of the pitch. The intensity picking up here. The final closing stages of this match. Army looking for revenge after they lost 5-1 last season. Tucker couldn't control it. Last touch by Navy, and this is going to waste a lot of time. Army starting to feel it here. They can sense a title match, a gold medal match next Tuesday. Of course, they still got to play the Department of Air Force coming up on Sunday. But right now, focusing on these final minutes, closing stages, to win this match, their second consecutive, and start 2-0.
And they're really going to look to slow the game down and get to the corners as they're just waiting for that clock to wind down.
Last deflected by Kasache over there. So yet again, just wasting time here. It's the Navy, they just can't control it, deflecting everything past the touchline. Throw in into the box, back heel. Robinson yet again. Stop me if you've heard his name called before in this match.
And
Robinson
he's going to look to hold on to it.
Right, working 1-on-2 there. Now he plays it back. Maurice, oh, good move. Bentley was flying to try and take it away. And then Chandum. That's the sideline. So another throw in here for the Army. Navy hasn't really had the ball for the last 3 minutes or so.
You see Army going to the corner there, trying to waste time, being conservative.
Headed away, so is the referee gonna allow one final attack here? Is Olvin Olivia gonna allow one? Throwing it back, everyone pushing up. Fanning dribbling here. He has space to dribble more, and now Army is parking the bus. Fanning puts one in off the head of Quick. Army trying to clear. That's Laundrie's right foot. Past the sideline. No whistle yet. Olvin Olivia just looked at his watch. Another clearance. When in doubt, clear it out in this spot. And that is it. The Army defeat the Navy 1-0. The Army start 2-0. All smiles for the All-Army team, and a crushing second defeat for the Navy. Could not find the back of the net. They drop another heartbreaker for a second straight match. They drop to 0-2.
Yes, that was a great game by both teams. It was pretty close, pretty back and forth. But I think for Army, the thing that made it for them was their 50-50 wins and those 50-50 opportunities that they got, as well as utilizing their center forward there, who's proven to be dangerous in this tournament.
Goal by John Ponce, his third of the tournament. In the 45th minute, right before the half, proved to be the difference. It was a set piece by Louis Robinson, who played such a pivotal part for Army today. So much skills. Set piece was on the far side. He found Devontae Blake. Blake with that right foot was able to play that through ball to Ponce, who found the back of the net. That was the difference. So 1-0 victory for the Army. They get it done. The Navy drops to 0-2. We'll see the Army take on the Department of Air Force on Sunday. The Navy will take on the Marines in both their respective final matches. Well, we appreciate you joining us here in our terrific crew. Approximately 30 minutes from now, the Department of Air Force, they're 1-0, defending their title. They'll take on the Marines, 0-1, defending their home turf. We'll see you in about 30 minutes.